Hello guys, welcome back to Patrón de Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial how to make this dress, and you can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 17. Having said that, let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern dressing from the magazine, we cut along the side line that we make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 cm seams, hems, and cut with notches and run lines. Okay, let's check the pieces. We fold until the notch and we press with the iron the front piece. These are the pieces from the back. These are the pieces from the bottom, the front and back pieces. This is the skirt of the front, and we fuse the piece of the front. And this is the waistband and the bias. We press in half the bias. And these are the pieces from the lining, the front and back, and the bottom pieces of the dress, the zipper and the buckle. We're going to start with the skirt of the front. We're going to place the facing piece on the edge of the skirt. You have to face the right end. We're going to sew all around. We're going to face the right of the front and back with the bottom part, and we're going to sew on the waist. And then we're going to place the zipper. On the machine, we start sewing the piece, and first you have to overlock the edge of the piece. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the skirt. Open the seams and pull the seams to the facing piece and pass a stitch on the piece. And then we have to press with the arrow. These are the pieces from the back. We are going to face the rights of the backs and sew them on the waist. Now, put the main fabric of right side facing up and sewing as close to the teeth as possible. We need to position the zipper teeth into the groove of the foot. And remember to make sure that you have a little bit room between the seams always and where the zip starts, so that you don't get any little puckers. Make a mark where is the cut of the waist and the finish of the zipper. Now place the other side of the zipper, and you have to match the cut of the waist with the mark on the zipper. Finish closing the center back until the curve, because we need the curve later for match the cross length. This is the front. We press with the iron until the notch, and we're going to place the skirt on the notch. These are the pieces from the front. We sew the center front until the curve, and we face the right, and we're going to close the waist. This is the piece of the front. We pass a stitch on the fold because we need to hold the fold. And place the skirt, face the right, and sew them on the waist. These are the pieces from the front. We face the right and we close on the center front until the curve. Then we face the right of the pieces and we sew them on the waist. Now we face the right of the front and back and match the waist, and we're going to close the sides and the shoulders. We're going to match the cross length. Face the right and sew them on the sides. Sew the shoulders, and remember, you have to press with the iron the seams. You have to open the seams and press with the iron. This is the inner length. We sew them, we face the right, and we sew the other inner length, and then we have to match the cross length. We continue with the lining. These are the pieces from the front. We're going to close the center front until the curve, and then we're going to open the lining and place the top piece of the front. Continue with the lining of the back. We're going to face the right and we're going to close the center back until the curve, and then we're going to sew the other pieces of the back. Then we're going to face the rights of the front and back, and we're going to close on the shoulders and the sides. Now on the machine we face the rights and we sew until the curve. Then we face the rights of the front pieces and we close on the waist. These are the pieces from the back. We face the rights of the pieces and we close on the waist. Then face the rights and close on the sides. And then on the shoulders. Now we're going to close the lining with the main fabric. So we're going to start on the zipper. Then we're going to close the center back. And then we're going to sew all around of the leg. We're going to start at the zipper, so we have to use one single side foot for place the lining on the back because the zipper is under. So we face the reds and we sew them on the zipper. Finish closing the center back until the curve. This is the inner length. We face the rights and we sew it. The other side. And then we open and we match the crochet length of the front and back. Now we pass a stitch around of the neckline because we need to hold the lining with the main fabric. And we have faced the backs of the lining and the main fabric. Also around of the armhole. And we pass a stitch around of the leg. And also we pass a stitch around of the leg, and then we overlock the hem. We're going to fold until the notch, and we're going to pass a stitch around of the leg. Then we're going to place the bias around of the armhole. And then we're going to place the bias around of the neckline. This is the leg. We fold until the notch and we pass a stitch all around. Place the bias around of the neckline. You have to fold in half the bias and we pass a stitch all around. Cut the excess of the fabric. Snip the curves. Fold the bias and pass a stitch on the edge of the bias. At the start, we fold the centimeter inside of the bias, and then we fold the bias inside of the garment and we close the bias, passing a stitch on the other edge of the bias. Place the bias and pass a stitch all around of the armhole. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the armhole. fold the bias and pass a stitch on the edge of the bias. And now we pull the bias inside of the garment and we close the bias by passing a stitch on the other edge of the bias. Now we're going to make the belt. So we're going to face the right and we're going to close on the sides. Then we're going to fold in half and we're going to close for one side. And then we're going to make the loops. So we fold 1 centimeter, we press with the iron, and we fold another 1 centimeter and we press with the iron. This is the belt. We close for one side and we sew them, and then we cut the excess of the fabric. Then we fold in half and we're going to close for one side and along of the belt. Turn the piece and then we have to press with the iron. And pass a stitch around of the belt. This is the loop. We overlock for one side and we fold and we press it with the iron, and we pass a stitch for one edge and the other one. Introduce the belt through the buckle and then pass a stitch by hand for hold the belt. Cut the loops like 7 centimeters. Place the loops on the sides. Pass a stitch on the loops. And we have done the dress. We place the belt and we place the buttons and we made the button hole. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. You will find the magazine in Amazon as Patrón y Mujer. Thank you guys for watching the video.